Right, Bubble and Squeak. What is Bubble and Squeak? It's on the menu this morning.
Neither of us know what it is. So, firefighting chef Paul Knapp, are you going to help us? What is Bubble and Squeak?
Of course I am, absolutely, yeah. Bubble and Squeak. It's kind of what it is its name originates from, say, like when we fried off the leftovers. So it's kind of we're into food waste. We was just talking about the importance of it on the planet, on ourselves. So Bubble and Squeak classically is potatoes and cabbage fried. So if you think of like cold cannon, which is mashed potatoes and cabbage, which we fried up. Kind of what we're doing is we're just using posh leftovers.
Is Bubble and Squeak the Cockney rhyming slang?
It is a Cockney rhyming slang. It's taken, the dish has then become a Cockney rhyming slang.
Gotcha.
So that's where that come from. But classically, you'd go into a cafe back home and you'd ask for a double egg, double sausage, chips, Bubble and Squeak, and they'd give you a big dollop of this. But basically, what it is leftovers.
And it's roast potatoes.
It's classically would be roast potatoes,
not mashed potatoes.
Listen, at the end of the day, we're talking about food waste and the importance of food waste. And if we throw away sort of about 1.5 tons of food waste every single year, and the common kind of culprits would be fruit, vegetables and bread, and we kind of work on that. You know, if it's green and hairy, we throw it out unless it's a kiwi. So what we're looking at really is just utilising whatever we've got, and we can just pan fry it up. So roast dinners cooked yesterday. So what we've got is about 500 grams of potatoes.
You can crack on there, Paul. I'm going to try it.
No worries.
Is that OK?
We've got 500 grams of potatoes. We've got about 500 grams of cabbage, leftovers at the end of the day, and I had some roast carrots and parsnips. All the recipes up on Island Dam's Facebook page as well as Virgin Media One's website, so don't be too phased about what goes into it. At the end of the day, it's just leftovers, all right?
Yeah.
Just before we crack on, I just got to give a big shout out to Kathleen Hayes out in Whitegate, out in County Clare. She's a huge fan of you guys. She absolutely loves you. Yeah,
Hi, Kathleen.
Is it Kathleen's birthday or anything?
No, she's just... I worked with her nephew and he just said, say something to my aunt, would you? I was to kill you. She said, yeah, no, that's at all. So we said that. Also, what I'm going to put in here, just to bind it, is I'm going to put in here some Hellmann's mayonnaise. Just so what we can do is we're going to create a bit of taste and not waste, OK? And Hellmann's themselves have actually come out with a lovely range of vegan mayonnaises. So they've got like a chipotle, a garlic.
Vegan mayonnaise?
Yeah, so it's plant-based, so it's egg-free, which is handy, both from an allergen point of view and from an ethical point of view. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that in there and we bind all this up together.
What's this one now? This is
so what you've got there is the chipotle one.
Chipotle.
So what you're getting there is a nice little smoky hint in there as well. So what we've got, if you've got any leftover herbs, again, living in the bottom of the fridge, we can just bang those into our pan. They just start to cook away and just start to infuse some flavour. If you have them, you have them. Don't, you don't. At the end of the day, they're just leftovers. There's a bit of rosemary I had left over. There's a bit of thyme I had left over. And literally all we do is, with the leftovers, you can chop them up into a bowl. You can get a mashed potato masher into the pan and mash it all up, or you can get the kids, if you want, get their hands in there and give it a good old squish. So, like, when you go home, they're going to love that. We bang all that into a pan, and then we start to get...
Hold on a second. So you just chuck everything into a bowl and into the frying pan?
Half of this, right, is about making it look good and glamorous, all right? You know what I mean? Right. If I just said I'm frying leftovers and that was it, it's all about, like... It's about...
Did you not have this on a Monday all the time?
No.
Really?
No. Well, I would polish off my Sunday dinner.
Oh,
That's the other hard part as well.
In the Bow household, there was no leftovers.
There's a scrap to see who gets seconds and thirds.
So when I cook a roast dinner, I'd always have extras for, like, pickers and grazers, because if you're walking past on the way there, you just be like, I'll take a potato and I'll take this. And then when you're finished, you make a cup of tea later. You know, you take a sandwich and you fill in everything and stuff like that. So it is quite difficult, especially in the fire station, to get leftovers. So all we would do is every so often, guys, we would just turn this over, and we're just trying to get the bottom of this back to the top. We're trying to crisp it up. We're trying to get all of this so it's crispy all the way through, and literally you'd be cooking this for about 10 to 15 minutes. Turn it every so often, it starts to brown, turn it, starts to brown, and you keep doing it, you keep doing, you keep doing, you keep doing. Add a little bit of seasoning, but remember, we would have seasoned this when we cooked it, like if your mum's cooking the cabbage and bits and pieces like that. We're always going to have potatoes, we're always going to have cabbage, but more importantly, don't be too bogged down with a recipe. It's going to chop and change depending on what you've got left over as well. Absolutely, yeah. So
and
it's
like a massive frittata. Like, it's just
absolutely, yeah. Of course it is. Absolutely, yeah. So you can just do it like that. You can stick it on the table and serve it that way if you wish to. You can put it in lovely little portions. How are you getting on with that? You all right with that one, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But it's a Sunday roast, pretty much.
It's all combined.
Rehashed. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
But more importantly, rather than throw stuff away, we're looking at how we can utilise any leftovers from the fridge. Yeah. And it's just about... What it does as well is it stretches your culinary as well, because normally we turn around and think, I know what to do on a Monday, I know what to do on a Tuesday, I know what I'm having on a Wednesday. Whereas this, now you're looking at what ingredients have I got. I could put a bit of this and a bit of that. It's kind of freestyle cooking, which is really good.
Could you put a bit of... If you had a roast chicken or beef or whatever...
You can do whatever you want. You can put a poached egg on top of that as well, if you imagine stuff. Ooh, yeah. So you can do realistically whatever you want to do. There's no rules, and there shouldn't be rules in cooking, especially with leftovers. I mean, back in the day, someone's not going to turn around and say, I can't make a dish because I haven't got whatever. Yeah. So it's kind of peasant food as well, do you know what I mean? And you're not going to turn around and say, we can't have a carbonara or a bolognese tonight because we haven't got peppers. We cook what we have, and we've kind of lost... I think we've lost touch with cooking seasonally, cooking with what's around us and stuff like that, and we want an avocado and strawberries in December, which, you know... So this is about really kind of minimising our carbon footprint, looking after ourselves and looking after the planet.
Because with that, like, I suppose we're talking about it all the time. There's no leftovers in your house. I do absolutely understand that all the time. But with stuff like this, it can be kind of done for secondary school students who have access to like a microwave during the day, like all that kind of stuff.
It's handy cooking because what you can do, it's lazy cooking as well. So if you do a lot, say like on a Sunday, so like Mrs. Bo can be at home doing the cooking and you're looking after the kids.
No, I'm doing the cooking.
Actually, I watch you on Instagram there with your oven, all your bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Love them.
But if you have stuff that's left over, cook smart. Batch cook some extras and think, you know, if you're making a bolognese, use it the next day for a lasagna. If you're going to make a roast, do a load of veggies and stuff like that. You can fry them up, make like a frittata and bang it into the school lunches because they do go well, or put it into a wrap or anything like that.
Like, how important, because we just had Davy Fitz there talking about green aware and the problem with plastic, and we're talking about the environment an awful lot. This is going to be the next big thing. So food waste.
Food waste is huge.
Is this a real problem that we're looking at?
You think about 70% of food wasted, or 70% of wastage in general, comes from domestic waste. So we're a real big culprit globally. And if you look at what that does to the climate, but it's re-education. And I think, I hark back to kids. I had two, they're 24 and 22 now, my lads, but they were a great police force to have in the car. You'd be driving, daddy's texting, daddy's doing this, daddy's doing that, mum, daddy didn't do whatever, daddy hasn't got his seatbelt on. They were like little snakes in the back, do you know what I mean? But they're brilliant also as well to get you into kind of changing your mindset because they're learning it now through school. It's becoming their vocabulary, their norm, and they're the ones that are going to educate us.
Absolutely. It's how our parents lived as well. We just kind of forgot it for a while.
Absolutely.
As always, Paul Knapp, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks very much, guys.
Vegan mayo.
You like that?
Not bad.